Hello and a very warm welcome to the Organic Majlis Halal Masterclass 2024. I'm your host, Shinu Pillai from GL Exhibitions, organizers of the 22nd edition.
Hello and a very warm welcome
of the
to the Organic Majlis
Organic and Natural
Halal
Product
Masterclass 2024.
and the newly launched Halal Trade
Shinu
Expo
Pillai
to be
from
held
GL
at the Dubai
Exhibitions,
World Trade Center
organizers of
from
the 22nd
18 to 20
edition.
November
Hello and a very
this year.
warm welcome
of the
to the Organic Majlis
and Natural
Halal
Product
Masterclass 2024.
and the newly
I'm your
launched
host.
Halal Trade. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
will echo. Now it's finished.
Yeah. Thank you. I think it's sorted. Yeah. Thanks for highlighting that. The Organic Majlis is a Middle East online community of exporters and importers of all things bio, halal, natural, and organic. And the Masterclass is a series of sector and country-focused sessions aimed at helping exporters, that's our audience, increase their business into the Middle East. And nothing better than learning the tips and tricks of the trade from leading importers and leaders of the industry. And that makes up our panelists. Middle East demand towards halal certified products is evolving rapidly, as we all know. The halal market is a fast-growing business niche catering to both Muslims and non-Muslims alike and valued at more than $2 trillion. And that's not all. Halal product imports into Middle East and North Africa have increased by 24% from 2021 to year 2024, driving traction in key sectors like food and beverage, beauty and personal care, modest fashion, health and wellness, and Islamic finance. All the more this year has been an extra special as the expo has doubled in every aspect, including space and exhibitors, and soon visitors too. Another exciting update is the launch of the world's largest halal showcase, Mihas in Dubai, for the very first time, providing exporters a striking opportunity to claim their share of the $2.2 trillion market in the Halal Trade Expo Dubai. In today's masterclass, we will hear from region's top industry specialists about winning strategies, challenges, and opportunities, helping you successfully enter the Middle East and North African market. So let's get into it. Please allow me to introduce you to our panelists for today's masterclass. Firstly, let's welcome Faisal Khan Jafar, Consul and Trade Commissioner at Matrade Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. In this role, he facilitates the expansion of Malaysian businesses in the Middle East and North Africa region, focusing on Saudi Arabia and several Levant countries, including Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, and Palestine. Faisal Khan has made significant contributions in his roles at Matrade, including positions in the management services, export promotion and market access, and exporters advisory. He also served as a stakeholder relations officer to the CEO's office. With extensive experience in enabling companies to leverage free trade agreements to broaden their operations in international markets, Faisal Khan has been instrumental in the successful implementation of the free trade agreements that Malaysia has with Australia and Turkey. Next, we have Thomas Guerrero, Director, Halal Trade and Marketing Center. Thomas is passionate about the Islamic economy and emerging markets. He has dedicated himself to the halal industry and sovereign wealth funds. He has also been ranked in the top 50 leaders who contribute to the Islamic economy by the ISFIN Forbes Middle East in 2020 and appointed as Young Fellow by the World Islamic Economic Forum. In his current role at Halal Trade and Marketing Center, Thomas focuses on the halal economy opportunities for manufacturers, suppliers, and distributors of halal economy products and services. HDMC is hosted by DAFSA, but substantially supported by key partners across the halal economy ecosystem. HDMC serves as one-stop shop for all their market intelligence, halal compliance, and most importantly, marketing and sales support needs. And now, our final panelist is a visionary leader who has significantly contributed to the development of the halal economy. Asad Sajjad, founder and CEO of the Halal Development Council. Asad is a dedicated halal agenda promoter since 2008. advocating the importance of halal compliance and the power of halal branding to drive economic growth and tap into the multi-trillion-dollar global halal market. He has spearheaded numerous initiatives, including the Halal Development Council, the first organization in the MENA region focused on advancing the halal economy. He founded the Halal Association, representing halal trade and industry, and the Gulf Halal Center, the first halal certification body in the UAE and the Middle East. Additionally, he has also established the International Halal Center, a leading halal service provider in the UAE, Al Madina Halal Consultancy, offering halal training and consultancy solutions, and finally, International Halal Certification, a premium halal certification body in the UAE with maximum accreditations and recognitions from international halal regulators. Asad has kindly agreed to moderate today's session, and I now hand over the floor to Asad and to our panelists. Thank you.
Thank you, Shinu. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. My name is Asad, as Shinu has kindly introduced me, Asad Sajjad, but I go by the name of Asad. Some people call me Asad Halal because that's the last name that people remember. I have been into the halal space for almost 1.5 decades, trying to do whatever I can to promote halal globally. Now, I originally come from Pakistan, but I've been based in different countries a long time in UAE. And to start off with, I will show a presentation which has some interesting data. I don't want to spoil the surprise because I told Shinu it's a surprise. It's a new presentation, so I'll just share it with you, and then we can talk once I finish. So, Shinu, just let me know if
yeah,
you can
see. We can see it clearly. Yep.
Okay, excellent. So, okay, this is an overview of the global halal market. Time is limited, so I'll go very quickly. Asad Sajjad, as I said my name, and I'm representing the Halal Development Council and also the International Halal Certification, which is the largest halal body in this whole region, offering certifications and trainings. So, global halal market. Let's come directly to the point. The international halal gurus, the economic experts in halal agenda promoters have given the figure of halal food market to be in the vicinity of more than $600 billion per annum. This is based on the Muslim population, the main consumers of almost 1.9 billion Muslims. But the figure will be much higher if we include non-Muslim consumers who also consume halal food. If we include food, non-food, and services, we are talking about a market of $3 trillion per annum. This is trillion with a T, and it's a huge figure. Every year we have the same turnover. I was with the Islamic Development Bank seminar some time ago. They were talking about $5 trillion. People have a much higher figure, but then we are taking the lowest figure, which again is huge. I always share it with everyone. This is the favorite copy of my favorite copy of Times magazine. It's about 15 years ago. If you can see on its title, Times had called it the halal economy, more than $1 trillion a year. So this is like 15 years ago. It was $1 trillion, which was reconfirmed by Time with their research, and now we are talking about minimum $3 trillion. So there's a significant increase in the last 1.5 decades, as you can see. What is covered under this $1 trillion economy? So I've divided it into 3 major parts: food, non-food, and services. Very, very quickly, so everybody is clear. Food include all type of processed food, fresh, frozen, packaged, beverages, all kind of drinkables, all industries, whether it's confectionery, dairy, bakery, agri, or seafood. All raw material ingredients, everything which go into the food industry, meat and poultry, of course, the slaughtering and processed food, special food, all kind of herbal, baby food, health food, you name it, it is included. Food service, which is the restaurants, cafes, fast foods, canteens, caterings. In the end, we have the dietary supplements, the pharmaceutical, nutraceutical, herbal. This is the part which we orally consume, which is consumable, which comes under the consumable part. The non-consumable, which is non-food, major section goes to the cosmetic, beauty care, personal care, body care, toiletries, perfumes, animal poultry feed, leather products, including apparel and accessories, packaging and processing material for food and non-food together, cleaning chemical, processing aids, pharma and nutraceutical, the non-consumable part, disposable hygiene products, and last but not the least, the modest fashion and Islamic lifestyle product. Shinu, I'm not going very fast. Is it okay, the speed? Okay. Halal services, very, very important part of the halal value chain. Halal tourism, people call it Muslim-friendly travel and hospitality. Muslim-friendly tourism, very important part. And a fairly new part, halal medical tourism. Some countries are excelling in it. Halal processing and packaging, the complete supply chain. Halal compliance, including audit, certification, testing, consultancy. Halal industrial development, which is a concept introduced by Malaysia. These are the food parks, export zones, food zones, which are specialized for halal. Everything is halal over there. Malaysia has got almost a dozen or so of these in halal industrial development, which are specializing in halal production. Logistics, security, and storage. It's very, very important to make sure a product which is halal at the origin stays halal at the destination. We call it from farm to fork. So to take care of this supply chain, we have to involve halal logistics, security, and storage. And last but not the least, which is the latest thing, the halal technology, including food technology, e-commerce, digital marketing, software, etc. You name it, it's all included. Very, very major section. So this is where the $3 trillion economy is covered. Moving on, a very, very important question which people normally ask, what is the need for halal certification? Because to call a product halal, it has to be halal certified. If it's not certified, it's self-declaration, does not mean halal. What is the need for halal certification? So basic answer, to eliminate the chances of haram contamination. Haram is the opposite of halal, as I'm sure you all know, which is not allowed, not permitted, prohibited. Halal's opposite. So to eliminate the chances of haram contamination in non-halal certified product, and also to ensure that the product is genuinely halal and is free from all haram ingredients to be certified as halal. Our understanding, ladies and gentlemen, these days is very limited. Most of us in UAE, in GCC, in the Middle East, especially the Muslims, we consider halal to be limited to zabi, which is slaughtering of meat and chicken. And we don't go beyond this. But in today's world, a lot of products are made from pig byproduct. Pig is the biggest haram pig is haram, alcohol is haram, and many other things are haram. I'm not getting into the list, but pig is the biggest, the top of the list of haram. But products are made from pig byproducts that includes food and also non-food product, which we use in everyday life. I'm giving you a research example of a book written by a lady called Christine Mendestrama. She's a Dutch lady from Netherlands, and she wrote a book called Pig 05049. So what Christine did was that she picked up a pig, and the tag number on the pig was 05049, and it was going for slaughtering. So she followed the pig after it was slaughtered to see what happens to it. And she did this follow-up, the research for 3 years on 05049, and she discovered 185 products were made directly from this one single animal, pig 05049. Christine says that if you are a Muslim or even a vegetarian, you still end up using a lot of products that are made from pig, because everything is used. I bought this book from Europe. I did a study. It was mind-boggling. So I have made a synopsis. The book says everything is consumed. Nothing is wasted. The skin, the bones, the meat, the internal organs, blood, fat, miscellaneous parts, everything is consumed. I'm going to give you a quick synopsis as per Christine's report. Pig skin is used to make beauty products. This is her research. Beauty products, skincare products, face masks, body lotions, hair conditioners. It is made to, it is used to make gelatin, which is used in sweets, chewing gums, chocolate, energy bars, marshmallows. Gelatin is also used to make puddings, jelly, ice cream, certain kind of cheesecakes, chocolate mousse, tiramisu, UST milk, fruit juices, extra calcium yogurt, and also used to make gelatin sponge, which is used in surgeries. Pig bones, as per her research, is used in many different items which we use in everyday life, including paper. But what was concerning was pig bone is used to make glue, which is used as a binder. And this glue as a binder is used in matches, sandpaper, jigsaw puzzles, leather products. The same jigsaw puzzle which children take in their mouth. Pig fat is used to make soaps in the toothpaste industry, washing powder, shampoo, anti-wrinkle cream, cattle feed, floor wax, crayons, paint, and ink. Pig blood is used mainly in chicken feed, fish feed, and a certain kind of cigarette filters, also as a coloring agent. Pig internal organs are heavily used in the pharmaceutical industry, including insulin and also the capsules. This picture you see is of a capsule which everybody takes, whether it's for medicine or nutraceuticals. Capsule is used in every household, and capsules are made primarily from gelatin, and gelatin is coming from major source is pig. This is a book, a very interesting book made by Malaysian professors, and this is called Pig-Based Pharmaceutical, and it's mind-boggling. Again, a complete research is done, which includes the names of generic medicines which are used every day with a pig used in those medicines. Pig hair. Pig hair is used to make L-cysteine, which is used as a bread improving agent, as a dough improving agent in bakeries and industry, all type of bakery products, also used in flavoring and seasoning, also used in low-fat butter industry, paint brushes, and some people also use in making toothbrushes. Other byproducts, which I saw in the book, I noticed wax, and wax is used as a coating on toothpicks and dental floss. Wax is also used as a coating on fruits and also in the stationery industry and different other products. So this is just the summary of what I saw in the book. This is not to scare you, but to aware you of how deep the penetration of haram, directly pig, is in our everyday life. This is a chart of what all I've shared with you. This is a chart of all other haram items, including the human body, blood, pig, khamar, which is alcohol. All these are haram and different products which are made from this. So this is the answer to the need of halal certification. Moving on to my last section. What is the potential of global halal market? We talked about $3 trillion, which is the present situation. What is the future of the global halal market? Which is a very important question which everybody asks. So I'm going to refer it to this book written by a research organization, US-based organization, which also has office in UAE, State of Global Islamic Economy Report. And this is the latest edition. This is basically Islamic economy, in which they have divided it into 7 pillars. And they have given a comparison of 5 years to show what is the progress in each pillar. The first pillar is halal foods, and in 2023, it was $1.4 trillion, or $1,400 billion. In 2027, it is projected to increase to $1.8 trillion, a significant increase in halal food sector. The second pillar is halal pharmaceutical and nutraceutical. 2023, $108 billion, moving up to $142 billion by 2027. Halal cosmetics and personal care, I see all ladies items in this, 84 billion by 2023, moving up to 129 billion by 2027. Again, a very big increase. Modest fashion, which is the fashion which primarily Muslim ladies wear in Muslim and non-Muslim countries, so where they want to be fashionable and they want to keep their modesty also intact. A very big sector, 318 billion by 2023, moving up to more than 420 billion by 2077. So we know where the money is going. And this is a very big sector. Halal travel and tourism, $133 billion, moving up to $174 billion. Halal media and recreation, including social media, are 247 billion in 2023, moving up to 344 billion by 2027. So you see in all the sectors there, in pillars, there are significant increase. This is a chart of what I've showed you. So it's very easy to see 2023 and 2027 at one glance. And you can see a huge increase in food, cosmetics, fashion, media, pharma, in every sector, including Islamic finance. I did not increase because that itself alone is a very big sector. So this is to give you the future projection, which is the most authentic research in the world. All the private organizations, government bodies, everyone consults to the same Global Islamic Economy report. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why Halal has become an international brand, which is known globally for good quality and healthy products, expanding the turnover to more than $1 trillion a year. With this, I finish my presentation. Thank you very much to all of you. My email and contact details. If anybody has any questions on this presentation later on, you guys can contact me. And I thank you very much. With this, I'll stop my presentation. And I would request Excellency Faisal Khan to please give your presentation. Over to you, Faisal.
Thank you, Mr. Asad, our other distinguished speakers, Mr. Thomas, of course, the organizer, Mr. Shinu. First of all, good afternoon. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share information about halal market in MENA region. As everyone knows, I'm based in Jeddah, so most of my examples will refer to my observation on challenges and trend in Saudi Arabia. I will not presenting in details, but will highlight key points on the topic we are discussing today. So let me share my presentation slide. So let's start a little bit of introduction of MATRADE. Actually, MATRADE is actually the National Trade Promotion Organization in Malaysia. My agency is under the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, MITI. So our main task is to promote Malaysian product and services overseas. In terms of our global network, we have 49 offices worldwide, 37 trade officers and 12 marketing officers. The difference is the 37 trade officers is being headed by trade commissioners or consul, just like myself, and the marketing officers is being actually represented by marketing officers. For the Middle East and North Africa, we have 3 trade officers covering the region. We have one office in Jeddah and of course Cairo, and we have one marketing office called in Dubai, in Doha, sorry. Next, straight away, I would like to actually focus on the what we call the consumer trend. So I would like to have example Saudi Arabia. Of the consumer area, the population is about 32 million, and they are becoming more urbanized and have demonstrated growing willingness to purchase healthy products. So in terms of the growth drivers and trends, the imported food ingredients or food products in the market is price sensitive. So most of the local food processors seek suppliers that provide great quality of products at the most competitive price. There's also an increase of numbers of women entering the workforce, coupled with younger consumers being more aware of premium brands, has resulted in a rise in demand for premium food and beverage products in the country in the recent years. Another factor that is showing a growth or trends that promoting more demand in the market is actually because of the major sporting and entertainment events in the country and of course in the Middle East. So most of the Middle East economies are actually approaching the developing the economies through sporting and entertainment events. In terms of the market preference, due to the rapid socio-economic changes and due to the fast-growing economy, the ongoing expansion of modern food retail outlets is actually can be observed throughout the region. So hypermarkets and supermarkets that provide great opportunities for a wider distribution of processed food products. Continued urbanization, hectic lifestyles, and other factors will continue to increase demand for high-value processed foods. Shifting in consumer behaviors towards health and wellness products because more consumers are concerned on their fitness, more concerned on weight loss, healthy food and supplements. There'll be an increase of demand on healthy and organic-based food ingredients. In addition to traditional marketing channels, e-commerce will be becoming an increasing and popular in the region. So there are several ways for companies to market, especially in terms of partnering with industry players and local manufacturers. Some of the key need to be companies are, what is the level of interest portrayed through this partnership? Would it be a feasible model? What value-added services that can be offered and by the companies? So some of the potential partners that companies should look into, for example, are the brand manufacturers for OEM. So you need to offer a good track record and competitive value proposition, example, in terms of R&D, manufacturing technology to the brand manufacturers. The second segment would be the food services and food manufacturing players. You can sell directly to cafes, restaurants, franchise, and production facilities of food manufacturers, or collaborate on centralized kitchen facilities. So one thing unique about Saudi Arabia is always during the Hajj season. So there is a lot of growth in terms of the supplying to the central kitchen as during the Hajj for the pilgrims. And the third one is actually, of course, definitely you need to work with distributors and importers. So it is advisable for you to look into the opportunities to leverage on the presence of distributors with existing network in Saudi Arabia and expand it to the other MENA countries. And the common challenges, number one, definitely is in terms of regulatory or compliance. Food in production and importation is heavily regulated. Governments are continuously updating regulations to ensure the safety of the food consumed by their citizens. The second part is actually the logistic. Definitely the Red Sea, which is currently facing challenges with Houthi hijackings and attacks on shipping, which are impacting global trade. Due to a longer route and delays at the port, freight costs are on the. Therefore, companies need to actually plan well and have alternative to in terms of their logistic. So keeping your logistic costs at bay or in control will definitely put your pricing or offering at a much more competitive price. The third one would be to be considering the seasonal factor. So trading activities within the MENA region is influenced by seasonality factors. For example, now is summer, it's a summer holiday. So it's going to be quite challenging if you got to actually do your dealings during this time because we need to actually catch up some of these makers. Look, Ramadan and of course Hajj season, you need to plan well in terms of your shipping and your trade. So it's very important in terms of having a careful planning. So one thing I would like to share in terms of the advantage of partnering or collaborating with the nation companies is actually Malaysia and Saudi Arabia signed a memorandum of cooperation or MOC to recognize halal certificates for local products manufactured in both countries. In this particular field of cooperation include the conformity assessment procedures and technical standards, mutual recognition of halal certificates issued by both sides, and of course, exchanging experience and knowledge in the fields of training, research, and laboratory analysis of halal products. So in a very simple what I could conclude is actually Middle East and North Africa is shifting away for non-independence. So most of the governments are promoting economic diversification to boost technology, manufacturing, and renewable energy. So the transition is encouraging innovation and entrepreneurship as regional businesses take new opportunities and adapt to global market needs. So definitely entering the Middle East requires a strategic approach. So you need to define a market entry strategy that is tailored to the specific needs and characteristics of the targeted market. Understanding the market demand, it is important for you to assess the population, the demographic, the age group, and of course, definitely, it is also important for you to assess the right importers or distributors that are aligned with your company's business model. The second part that I would like to highlight is building a strong relationships. So understanding the cross-cultural communication in MENA region is very important. So developing a business relationship calls for a patience. Closing your business deal depends on your effective business pitching and personal presence. Importantly, you need to align your business model with the government initiative. So develop an export plan. Countries like the Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Qatar have invested heavily in infrastructure, tourism, and technology, new opportunities for business across various sectors. For a successful market entry, each market requires a unique approach in order to effectively and engage with the targeted market segment. So one thing that is iconic for Malaysia, we have this Malaysia International Halal Showcase. This year will be the 20th edition. The theme this year will be Globalizing Halal Innovation, that will be held from 17 to 20th September at MyTech Kuala Lumpur. An overview about the event: it is a number destination for world. For 20 years, the exhibition has been championing the halal industry for local and international industries. It's covering 14 sectors from F&B, financial services, e-commerce, Muslim-friendly travel, education to logistics. One thing that is unique for our organization is we organize the international sourcing program, business meetings between local businesses and international buyers. This year we are looking at least 2,000 exhibition booths across malls. Other activities include Knowledge Hub and Pocket Talk. Thing that is interesting this year also, the first edition of MIHAS at Dubai. So this will be held in conjunction with Organic, what we call Natural Products Expo Dubai from 18th, 20th November. So you have the chance to meet with top 200 Malaysian companies from various product clusters at MIHAS at Dubai. So you're going to actually explore business opportunities with the Malaysian exhibitors. You're going to meet the Malaysian halal giants and meet some of the biggest halal producers from Malaysia. And these shows include various halal products and services, including natural and organic products, enabling companies or anybody in the region to actually source from Malaysia. Among the product clusters that will be highlighted at MIHAS at Dubai are F&B, beauty, agriculture and environment, Islamic finance, wellness, lifestyle, franchise, and halal tourism. So this is actually a snapshot of what it's going to look like for our pavilion at MIHAS at Dubai. So these are some of the top companies that reconfirm their participation at the event. In the F&B sectors, we have decided on the food manufacturing companies. We also have franchise companies like Zeus Coffee and Richiamo. We also have participation from the finance sector, Exim Bank and SME Bank. We have pharmaceutical companies like Biotropics, Nature, and Halagel. We also have companies in the cosmetics and perfume, under the lifestyle cluster, and of course, under the green technology cluster. So I would like to encourage people, everyone, to also explore your opportunities to expand your business through MIHAS at KL and MIHAS Dubai. We are still open for foreign companies to be participants or exhibits in our MIHAS at Kuala Lumpur. So feel free, come and join us. Thank you. Shukran.
Thank you very much, Excellency Faisal Khan Jafar. A very interesting presentation. There are questions also which have popped up in my mind, and I'm also receiving questions from the audience. Now I'll give the opportunity to Thomas to present his thoughts on halal. Over to you, Thomas.
Thank you so much, Sad. First of all, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. It's a pleasure being here with all of you, supporting Organic and Natural Expo Dubai. My name is Thomas Guerrero. I'm the director of the Halal Trade and Marketing Center. I will share my screen with all of you in order to give you a brief introduction about our organization, about our activities, so you can better understand what we are doing here at the Halal Trade and Marketing Center. We already saw the numbers. We already saw the trends. We already saw what the Muslim consumers are looking for. So now I will use my time to give you, as I said, a quick presentation, introduction about our organization, about our value proposition. So basically here at the Halal Trade and Marketing Center, we are supporting, as you can see here, His Highness vision to position Dubai as the capital of Islamic economy. So for that, we are providing companies with different types of services. We are a trade promotion agency for facilitating halal trade worldwide. So at the end of the day, we are here basically for helping companies from all over the world to expand their business operations in the 57 Muslim majority countries, where, as you know, or you probably know, the halal certificate is needed, is mandatory for marketing different types of consumer goods, such as food, pharma, or cosmetics products. So our organization, as I said, it's basically a global value proposition for helping companies from different countries as well as from different sectors to grow the halal market. So for that, as you can see here, and as I already said, we are providing those companies with different types of research advisory services. So we have three areas of services, three verticals. First of all, we have one area related to the marketing intelligence space, where we are elaborating different types of knowledge products, such as upscale market reports, roadmaps, market reports. So basically, market studies for helping companies and sometimes also institutions to identify trends, business opportunities, benchmarks, and success cases in this fast-growing business niche. Then we have a second vertical. It's called Halal compliance. We are not a Halal certification body. We are not the ones auditing the companies or providing them with the Halal certification, but we have the knowledge to guide them through the Halal compliance space. Why? Well, basically because, as we saw, this market is huge, it's growing so fast, but it's also honestly a bit challenging from the regulation point of view. Why? Basically because we don't have a global halal standard. We have different rules for regulating the same market across the Muslim majority countries. We have different bodies, regulatory bodies, we have different standards. So there is a fragmentation from the regulation perspective. For that reason, many companies are looking for support because they are not clear, they don't know how to proceed, they don't know if they can get the halal certificate from this or that certifier. They have many doubts because the fragmentation is making, as I said, this market a bit complex, especially for the companies based in non-Muslim majority countries. So because of that, we are also providing those companies looking for getting the halal certification in order to be able to produce and export the product to the Muslim majority countries. We are helping them or providing them with training programs, halal assessment, different types of services in order to support them to navigate this complexity. And finally, we have a third vertical, third area of services. It's called growth support, where in short, in a nutshell, we are also helping producers, companies from different sectors, from different countries to connect with qualified buyers here in the UAE, as well as in other Muslim majority countries. So for that, we are organizing and celebrating business matching programs, virtual ones, face-to-face ones, on a regular basis for connecting the producers with the buyers. So now, let me give you some, let's say, success cases. For example, 2-3 years ago, we were helping the largest seaport in Spain to understand the halal sea freight logistic. We were working on a comprehensive report to help them to understand the requirements, the halal ones, for logistic, as well as to help them to identify the main sea route for halal products, the halal products coming from US, Canada, as well as from Latin America. Same, we are working on a regular basis with Westgrow, with the South African trade promotion agency for Cape Town, Western Cape region. We are organizing face-to-face and virtual business matching program for connecting the producers there from the F&B sector with some of the best buyers for the products here in the GCC countries. Same here, another success case. Here, as you can see, we have the case of ProColombia, the promotion agency in Colombia. They came 1 year ago through the Latin American Multilateral Bank have to hire our services in order to develop technical assistance to help them to create or generate the halal ecosystem in Colombia. Basically, they didn't have any halal certification body there with the accreditations from the halal authorities in the Muslim minority countries. So we were helping the institutions there to generate the ecosystem, the halal one, and bring some worldwide recognized certifiers to operate in Colombia on the ground with the local producers. So those are some of the cases, but obviously we have many more. And it's always good to say or good to highlight that most of those projects or initiatives are coming through our partners. We have, as you can see here, network, a global network for working with different countries across the world. As you can see here, we are cooperating with trade promotion agencies, chambers of commerce, business councils, halal accreditation bodies, Islamic banks. So thanks to them, we have also a global connectivity and we are able to deliver our services in different regions across the world. So, well, that's all from our side. Now, happy to join the Q&A session. I will give the floor to Asad so we can continue with the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Thomas, for a very insightful presentation. And Excellency Faisal Khan is also back. Okay, right. Now, there are quite a few questions which have popped up in the meantime from the audience. But before I go to this list of questions, I wanted to ask, in fact, I want to start off the questions answer session. I want to ask Excellency Faisal, you mentioned regarding something which I've especially noted, MOU signed by SFDA and JAKIM regarding accepting each other's certificate. So I hope you're aware of the shipment certificate, which is the requirement from SFDA. It started off in 2019 with the meat and poultry, and then last year it has also added all the other processed food products. So does the shipment certificate also apply to the Malaysian exporters under this MOU or not?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Asad. I believe we need to tackle this question into two parts, because when you deal with meat and poultry, for example, there is a certain specific process or regulation need to be complied first, because any countries, not only Saudi Arabia or Malaysia, they have a very strict in terms of importation of meat and poultry products. So in terms of this cooperation of halal, it's more in terms of the cooperation in terms of acknowledging the halal certification that being issued by both countries. As you know, Malaysia have JAKIM issuing halal certificates, and we also know that in Saudi Arabia, they also have SFDA issuing halal certificates. So in order to actually facilitate the trade and export between both countries, so both authorities have this agreement of mutual cooperation. So when we talk about meat and poultry, they still need to go to the normal process. They need to do the what I call the approval done with the respective, maybe in Malaysia is under the veterinary services department. Of course, they need to comply all the regulation by SFDA. So there's a two-part of certification, Mr. Asad, I would to actually inform. But in terms of the what called halal, is more on to ensure that we comply with the regulation in Saudi Arabia. So it's actually facilitation of the halal certification issued by both countries. Thank you.
Okay, so the second part of my question was processed food, because now, since this year, processed food, non-meat, non-poultry processed food is also covered under the SFDA regulation of shipment certificate. How are the Malaysian exporters handling that under this MOU?
The MOC, as I said earlier, is more on the halal certificates. So for exporters in Malaysia, they already have halal certificates issued by JAKIM. They can actually have this facilitation from the Saudi side that they actually acknowledge the halal certification. So they need to have the halal certification issued by JAKIM endorsed by SFDA. As long as the halal certificate is endorsed by SFDA, then our exporters do not have any what called challenges in terms of clearing their product at the custom. And definitely, yes, due to the, not only in terms of the what call demand in the market for processed food, the thing that we also need to observe in Saudi Arabia, especially, or even across GCC countries, is most of the government is promoting their local manufacturing. So there is a high chance they want to promote their local manufacturing, especially in terms of processed food. So we need to actually align our model. So for example, if they are in Saudi Arabia, they have Naqwa, one of the largest shrimp what call producers. So they just need to align their business model to maybe process their processed food in Saudi Arabia, but some of the particular ingredients or maybe some of the formula coming from Malaysia, but they can actually use Saudi Arabia as their local manufacturing to actually penetrate into Middle East. So understanding the local manufacturing what call initiative done by the government is important. So they need to find the best model that fit their export what call plan to the Middle East. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Faisal Khan. Just for information of the audience, for those who are not exporting to Saudi Arabia, there's the shipment certificate is a new requirement from the Saudi regulator SFDA, which means that every company, every exporter from all over the world, when they export to Saudi Arabia, they need a halal certificate, which is the annual halal certificate for their production, for their facility, which they have to take from a SFDA approved halal body. But additionally, they also need, for every export, they need a export shipment certificate or a batch shipment certificate for whether it's meat or it's processed food or any other non-food product also, which contains in the packaging, which contains the word HALAL. So if it has the word halal written on it, it falls under that regulation. A shipment certificate has to be obtained from a SFDA approved certification body. In UAE, for example, there are at least 6 or 7 SFDA approved certification bodies. In every country they are, and a shipment certificate can easily be obtained. So that is the latest information. Moving on to the questions from the audience, from our delegates, participants. There's some repetition, but I have to sort out the questions. The first one was the current opportunities and challenges in the halal market within the MENA region. So you have discussed about Saudi. Thomas, do you have anything to add on it as far as UAE is concerned, especially since you are based in UAE? Any special or challenge in the halal market?
Well, first of all, let's highlight the opportunity, because there is an important fact that we have to take into account when we think about exporting, for example, F&B products or consumer goods in general to the GCC. Here, as you probably know, we are importing almost everything. We are net importers. In the GCC, almost the 90%, the 85, 90%, for example, of the food is coming from abroad. It's clear we can't produce food locally because of the lack of water, because of the weather. Basically, it's not cost effective. So we have to import food, pharma, and cosmetics products from abroad. So the opportunity, as you can see, is massive, because you don't have, let's say, an internal competition. You don't have local producers, or you don't have many local producers. So here, basically, as I said, we are importing almost everything. So imagine if you get the halal certification from a halal certification body accredited or recognized by the halal authorities here, you will be able to capitalize on this huge opportunity. If you have good quality, competitive prices, for sure you will be able to find the opportunities, windows. You will be able to do business. So I want to highlight that this specific situation where, as I said, we have a huge dependency. We need food, pharma, and cosmetics products. We don't have local production. So for producers abroad, this is an amazing window. And by the way, the population here is growing. The population has a strong buying power. So this is a place to be if you want to export. Then getting back to the challenges, well, I already said the main challenge is the regulation. Here in the GCC, we don't have, let's say, a clear regulation, basically because, as I said, we have different authorities as well as different standards. For example, we have the GCO standards, the 993 for meat and poultry, plus the 25.5 for processed food. But here in the UAE, we also have our, let's say, our national halal standards. When you compare the standards, it's true, they are saying almost the same, but there are some, let's say, point where we are not coming with the same requirements. For example, now we have, let's say, a tricky situation with the poultry. Why? Because basically here in the UAE, we came with a new version for the 993 standard, the UAE one, last December. And now we are accepting stunning before the halal slaughtering process under certain parameters, using specific stunning methodologies. But now we are accepting stunning. Before we were not accepting that. But what happened? The remaining GCC countries are still following the existing GCO 993 standard, and they are not accepting stunning for poultry.
Are you referring to birds or cattle?
I'm talking about poultry. The GCO 993, as you know, is not accepting stunning for poultry. Here, we had the same, let's say, approach, but now we decide to accept stunning following Indonesia, Malaysia. They were already accepting stunning also for poultry under certain parameters before the halal slaughtering process. But now, as you saw here, we have, let's say, a strange situation where, okay, if you are a poultry producer and you are abroad and you got the halal certification and you want to export poultry, halal poultry to the UAE, and UAE is your final destination, you can export the halal poultry without the stunning. Sorry, using the stunning. But if someone here is then taking that halal poultry coming with the stunning to re-export, maybe they will face some problems in Saudi Arabia or in Qatar because they are not accepting stunning for poultry. So as you can see, this is one case. We have more cases where the regulation is let's say, generating challenges. So we hope we can have, let's say, the same regulation for halal here in the region in the coming future. That will be the best for everyone, not only for the producers, also for the consumers, also for the importers, for the distributors, for the retailers. So that's the main challenge. Regulation is still being the main, let's say, issue. And as you saw, sometimes we have to think twice before exporting, because we have different requirements depending on the target market.
Thank you very much, Thomas. You have rightly pointed out regarding the 993 issue. This is especially concerning those who are into slaughtering, the meat and poultry. But then, since we are running we happen to be running the largest halal certification body in MENA right now, with clients all over GCC. So our experience says that this is the problem you pointed out is the only problem which is there. Otherwise, it is very easy, all of the standards, because originally the food standard was 2055 UAE, which was originally made, which later on became GSO 2055 for the all of Gulf region. And these are the two main standards, then 993 for the poultry and slaughtering. And other than this stunning issue, which you have pointed out, we don't see any problem. UAE accepts the UAE standard. Out of UAE in the MENA region, everybody is happy with the GSO standard. They accept, Saudi accept GSO standard, although they have their own standard body, SAC, but they are happy with the GSO. And even countries in North Africa, Algeria, Tunis, Morocco, also accept the GSO standard. Going out to all the way to Egypt or Jordan, GSO standard. So predominantly, everybody's okay with GSO standard, and there are no other challenges other than what you mentioned. Related to this is a second question, which I'm just relating. Someone has asked about who are the approved halal regulators, in the key MENA market, and where can exporters have their list. So I will try to answer that, and then you guys can add on this. In UAE, for any exporter to export to UAE, the main regulator used to be ESMA, the Emirates Standard Authority, but now it is MUIT, the ministry, MOIAT. Thomas, correct me if I'm wrong.
The Ministry of Industry and Advanced Technology.
Thank you very much. Ministry of Industry and Advanced Technology. They are the main regulators. So everyone, regardless of what product you have, you must register with MOIT. And also, in most of the cases, you have to register with the municipality also. Thomas, correct me if I'm wrong anywhere. In Saudi Arabia, the main regulator is SFDA, Saudi Food and Drug Authority, for food and drug. These are the two main markets which are heavily regulated. Other GCC countries have got either their baladia, their municipality, or a ministry which is the regulator. For example, in Qatar, a municipality of health is there, which is MOPH, Ministry of Public Health, it's called, which is the regulator. Similarly, in Oman and Kuwait and Bahrain, their municipality or baldia is regulating. So in Morocco, for example, it is Imanor, which is the regulator. So the main focus is in Saudi and UAE. UAE being the major market, because in our experience, I've seen in UAE, I've seen buyers coming from Africa, from America in the exhibitions, from Europe, coming to UAE to do their shopping. So, this is what we see in Gulf food, and this is what we are hoping to see in the Halal Expo, the Mehas at Halal, Mehas at Dubai, which is being held in conjunction with the Organic and Natural Expo. So these are the main regulators which are there. Any thing which I missed on this question, Thomas or Fazil?
Well, no, I think everything is clear. I was thinking about the certifiers, because there are many, as you know, there are many halal certification bodies across the world. But the producers, the companies, they have to double check if they are accredited, recognized by the halal authorities in the Muslim majority countries. So here in the GCC, we have AIAC, the Emirates International Accreditation Center, the federal authority for providing certifiers across the world with the halal accreditation for the UAE. Then, as you said, you have SFDA, the Halal Center from SFDA for providing the certifiers with the recognition for Saudi. Then the Ministry of Public Health in Qatar. So yeah, for producers, I'm always saying the same for the companies. It's about choosing the right certificate. One with all or almost all the accreditations from the Muslim majority countries, because if you get the certification from one of them, you will be able to export without any problem, without any limitation to the GCC countries, but also to other Muslim majority countries. So that's always the most important thing. So I invite the companies to check that before to get
that. Is very rightly pointed out. In UAE, there are two accreditation bodies. One is IAC and other one is INAS. Both are a halal accreditation body, both approved by the ministry. In Saudi Arabia's SFDA themselves are the regulators, and then other countries, they are their ministries or the Baladia, the municipality. So all exporters must get a halal certificate from a certification body which is A, accredited in the country where they want to export, and B, it has accreditation in the scope in which they want to export. Because I can be accredited by a accreditation body in food, whereas you want to export pharmaceutical or beverages, which is or fruits, which is a different scope, a different category. So this has to be taken care by exporters. Moving on to our next question: are there any specific labeling requirements in MENA region, special focus on UAE and Saudi? Thomas, I'll start off with you if you want to shed light on any specific labeling requirements.
Well, as you said, for labeling, companies, producers, they have to register themselves, their products with the municipality here, and they will be the ones, let's say, checking the labels and validating them. So yeah, there are, let's say, specific requirements for the labels, and the municipalities are the, let's say, the ones in charge of taking care of that. So it's about the registration of the products plus the approval of the labels for them.
And Faisal, anything from your side? Faisal, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. I think very simple. There is a labeling requirement, but it depends on the products. So a general what call guide I could actually share is to always refer to the SFDA website. There is a very good reference and what call guide in terms of it. So typically labeling in Saudi Arabia is actually the product name, how to use it or take it, the recommended dosage or warnings if actually a supplement, the expiry date and storage conditions. So one thing good about the SFDA website, besides the references, they also have the SFDA's e-labeling requirements. So my advice is just refer to the website, and of course, I also observe some of the product requirements. You can still use your packaging or labeling, but usually they're going to put a translation of the ingredients or the the content in Arabic, and they can actually use it and paste it in the products. Thank you.
Thank you, Faisal. Just adding a little more to it, there are two. We see labeling as in two categories. One is the requirement from the ministry or the Baladia, which you gentlemen have pointed out. Also, exporters have to take care of the halal labeling requirement, and for halal, the requirement as far as we understand, in UAE, the factories who are producing in UAE, they must have the halal logo of UAE halal mark, which is called, and which is given by the ministry. In Saudi Arabia, they must be certified by SFDA, the local Saudi companies. But companies who are exporting from outside, they can have a halal logo from any certification body which is approved by SFDA or approved by the ministry. So as long as they are approved, their logo works fine for halal. And then the local labeling requirement, as you gentlemen have pointed out, from the local baladia, municipality, authority, or SFDA in case of Saudi Arabia. So thank you very much. I have a question from a brother who he wants to know, can the digital marketing and e-commerce channels be leveraged to reach halal consumers effectively in the MENA region? Thomas? How much digital marketing e-commerce channels will help?
It's becoming so relevant because now, for example, thinking about the UAE here, we have a strong e-commerce platform for marketing different types of products. So yeah, the traditional way of working with the GCC was through distributors. But now you have these, let's say, platforms where you can put your products and work in this part of the world. So they are becoming, as I said, very important or relevant. They are offering, let's say, a new channel for marketing halal products. We don't have a dedicated halal e-commerce platform in the region, but we have some, let's say, generic one where most of the products are halal, because here we have controls at the borders in order to guarantee that the products landing in our countries are halal certified. So those platforms are offering most of the time halal certified products, so they have to take care of them. Yeah, we have Noon, we have also obviously Keepsons. We have, let's say, global e-commerce platforms, Alibaba, all those ones, AliExpress, and so on, but also, let's say, local ones, good ones. So I invite the companies to explore that opportunity too.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Next question I've shortlisted from a brother wants to know, how can a brand, and I'll ask Faisal to try to answer, how does a brand effectively communicate its commitment to halal integrity, halal authenticity to the consumers in your market?
Basically, Asad, I will try to actually relate to the first question. In terms of the brand and to relate with halal, what I call awareness, I think the best now is actually to use the digital marketing and e-commerce channel, right? There are a few approaches that companies can consider. The first one is to be using the targeted online advertising. Utilize the digital advertising platform to target specific demographics, such as halal conscious consumers in the MENA region. This to ensure a marketing message reach the intended audience. Second, of course, that we use the social media engagement, establish a strong presence on popular social media platform in the region. So please take note that certain countries have certain preferences. Like for example, in Saudi Arabia, they mostly use Snapchat, Twitters, Instagram. So you need to actually engage with the right social media engagement. The third is influencer collaboration. If you want to push your brand, so partner with influential halal focused social media influencers or bloggers in the MENA region. Their endorsement and recommendations can significantly impact consumer perceptions and drive brand awareness. The fourth is leverage on the e-commerce platform. Okay, there are a lot of what called e-commerce platform in the region. Even some of the what called renowned market in Saudi Arabia, like Tamim, they have their own online platform for their customers to buy online. And the last one is content marketing. So you need to create informative and engaging content such as blog posts, videos, infographics, and highlights your brand. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Faisal. So I'm going to go back to the question, which was how can a brand effectively communicate its commitment to halal integrity, halal authenticity in your market? Faisal.
So in my market, it's very simple. As long as the brand is associated with the halal endorsed by SFDA, you just need to actually work out the particular marketing promotion. So you need to actually position your brand in the right way. If you're targeting to retail, then you need to actually work with the what call retailers in terms of creating that what call authenticity of the brand. But definitely any product that already endorsed by SFDA, you don't have any issues in terms of getting the what call awareness or the assurance from the consumer in the market. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I lost Thomas. I don't see. Is it a problem with me or?
No, I think we don't see him either. Probably he should be able
Okay,
to.
I hope he comes back soon. Okay, short break is okay. So I'll continue with you, Faisal. One question which I have popping up from 2-3 people. What factors the exporters should consider when doing their pricing for halal certified products? Is that something which you can attend? For the pricing of the halal certified products? To make sure
So
that
meaning
they
that
have competitive pricing, what factors they should consider?
the first thing is always look into the custom duty and tax imposed in that country. For example, certain import products in Saudi Arabia, the range may be between 5 to 12% for the custom duty. And maybe in terms of the value added tax is 15%. So the first one is you need to actually understand in terms of the custom duty or tax imposed on your product. Number two is you need to also look into the market demand and competition. For some food and beverage product, it's very easy for you to look into the competitive, what we call the pricing in the market. There's a lot of what we call retailers actually putting a lot of promotion on their online platform. You can actually compare the pricing that you are actually looking at. And of course, you need to minimize your cost of production. Definitely, you need to understand some of their production might be, being impacted by the fluctuation of the what I call currency. So definitely you need to go on the value proposition. So customers now not looking at cheap product, they are looking at quality. They are looking at products that you want to promote their health and wellness. So sometimes there's a what I call weaknesses from companies. They always want to position their product at the lowest price, but actually that's not the right way to enter into the MENA region, especially to GCC. Consumers are looking at quality or what we call high value products for their consumption. And of course, control your distribution and logistic costs. This is a very critical one, especially due to the Red Sea crisis. Logistic is actually putting a lot of pressure for the pricing of imported products into the region. So these are the few factors that companies need to look into when they are looking at the pricing for the products in any market in the GCC or MENA region. Thank you.
Thank you, Faisal. Next question was regarding approved halal certification body. We have already answered that previously. Then what product categories commonly fall under halal? My presentation had a very detailed answer to this question. Labeling requirement is again repeating. We have already handled that. And digital marketing also we have handled. So I think most of the questions now are repetition to what we have already discussed. Nothing new. Is there anything new at your end, Shinu, other than what I'm getting? Any new
I
question?
think that's been the latest, Asad, and yeah. So I think you have covered most of it. Even it's being summarized here. Yeah.
Great. Thomas, any last words from your side?
Well,
Message you want
again,
to give?
thank you. Thank you for this the opportunity. I want to invite all the companies to join or participate, better to say, in the Organic and Natural Expo in Dubai. It's a great meeting point for connecting with the key or main buyers here in the UAE, but also in other countries in the region. So, yeah, that's my final contribution. I want to invite you all to participate in the Organic Natural Expo, because we will be also there for sure. We will be more than happy to meet you in person.
Faisal?
Thank you, Mr. Asad. A very quick one. Come and join us at Mihas at Dubai or KL. Definitely reach us out through our networks, global networks. For MENA region, Jeddah office, Cairo office, and Dubai office will definitely provide further information if required. So just drop an email or contact us. Thank you.
Thank you. Wanted to share, I've been going to Mihas in Malaysia for last, God knows, 10, 12 years every year. I'm very excited. I'm more excited than even the organizers to see how Mihas at Dubai, because Mihas is the largest halal trade exhibition in the world. The second one does not come near Mihas. And Dubai is the hub, is the main market for the MENA region, where people come from all over MENA and beyond to come and do their shopping. So the biggest re-export market in this region. So have Mihas, I'm very excited. My message to everyone, my last words, halal certification is very important. It's the key to consider your product, to label your product as halal. Once you have halal certificate, once you want to have halal certification, go for the best halal certification body. Don't go for the cheapest, because you may not be getting the right. There is obviously a price factor involved, but ensure that your halal certification body has the right collateral, the accreditations in the scope. And once you have halal certification, then the most important thing to remember is that halal certification is a very important marketing tool. It's a USP, a unique selling point to promote, to market, to sell your product. It opens doors. So a lot of people get halal certification and they put a small teeny mini halal logo on the back of their product next to HACCP, ISO, food safety, FSSC, BRC, halal. All these regulations, all these certifications are the regulator's requirement. Halal is the consumer's requirement. And you have to let the consumer know you have halal. Small logo on the back of your packaging sitting on the shelf of the biggest store, consumer would not know your product is halal. You must put the halal in the front. The biggest food company in the world, without taking their name, they have more than 150 products halal certified, but still when they have halal, they put halal logo in the front, because halal sells. Halal will help you market. Halal will help you enter the new consumer markets, get new buyers. You have to show to your customer that you are halal certified. So show it, be proud of it, put it into the front. So these are my last words. Thank you very much. Over to you, Shino.
Amazing. Thank you very much, everyone. I think it was wonderful to have you all sharing your thoughts, insights, and knowledge. I think nothing can beat the practical experience, and I know that is, I'm talking about decades of experience that each one of you have brought into the platform, from certification to exports to branding to e-commerce. I think we have probably touched upon a range of questions, range of elements which will help definitely our audience who are exporters sitting in different parts of the world successfully get into the Middle East and North African market, right? So I would like to thank all my attendees for tuning in today, who have been part of this discussion. I hope there's a thing or two that you can take back from this. I would like to thank our partners, that's Halal Trade and Marketing Center, Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation, that's MATRADE, and the Halal Development Council. Without your support, this masterclass clearly wouldn't have been possible. So thank you to all my panelists. And I also take this opportunity to welcome all our listeners to join us in Dubai at the Expo from 18 to 20 November at the Dubai World Trade Center. So until next time, thank you very much and have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. See you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.